be 2.5 hours from now. Is that right?
Yeah, I figured it'll give people like half an hour after the DAO call to just like go get a coffee, go to the bathroom, do all the stuff. And yeah, we'll start right after that. It's been smooth basically. The last few tests I have not been able to find problems. The only issue that I have left is when people are too far away from each other, because we're really running just one server, North American, just for now, obviously. But yeah, so the stress test will basically let me see if I can break it somehow, and then if that
Yeah.
goes well, we'll do more stuff. And we're
Sick.
giving out,
Oh,
so definitely come by and like for participation, you don't even have to win. We are giving away NFTs.
cool. Is it like 1v1 or is it battle royale style?
No, it's the last mech standing. 10 people
All
go
right.
in, one comes out. I'll
Got it.
drop the invite link, China. It's just that's just an event, so I'll just drop the server invite.
Y'all always doing stuff at my midnight. How long is this event gonna last? Because I want to play it tomorrow when I wake up.
Well, the game is live, so technically you can play now.
Okay.
It's just that I want to get as many bodies in the room as possible, so I had to set some kind of time. And then people were saying that post Hangout makes the most sense, so I did that. And then we can do like pre Hangout if that makes more sense for you.
Yeah, I'm always around. I'm hanging out, doing stuff
Oh
before
yeah,
the hangouts.
time zones, man. Hopefully we can
Time.
start doing like dual time zone things soon.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting.
Dude, it's
Launching
been a long
the
time coming,
protocol
man.
is launching 2 games in a week. Almost here. The December crunch.
Yeah, dude, slowly, slowly, then all at once.
Yeah. Very cool. Let's see. I see Brill's in the chat. Word around the street is that we're gonna have a Gotchi Battler. You guys are doing the what is it, 2K die tournament right now, and we should be having the main event pretty soon here as well. Any dates on that yet? Not to put you on the spot if you are listening. I know that you guys have been cooking on that. Got a big new version coming. Dr. Webby says new battler is very fun.
Dude, it
I've
is
watched.
like
Yeah, what are you guys enjoying about it?
it's much more like you have to think now. Like before, because of the items, essentially, like they did it really smart. A common item will have like a significant effect on your game. So they're really encouraging people to buy the items, and it really makes it a lot more. And the stat things that they've changed make it a lot more dynamic. Before there were a few that were too OP.
Mm-hmm.
It feels more like a fight now. It feels like popcorn edge of the seat kind of thing. And the implementation of like the user being able to put items on things and substitute gotchis out and like the preparation phase, these are all like it really makes it feel like a game now versus before.
Awesome. Dr. Webby enjoying it. Dominating
Yeah,
everyone.
he's not a medical professional when it comes to this game. I'll tell you that.
Cool. I'll gotta get my gang ready. I missed the entry this time. Again, time zones, and I was just going on full throttle and everything else. But I'm gonna get in the next tournament here for sure.
Yeah, I missed it
It-
also. I was coming back from Miami and I saw the post, but I didn't recognize that that it was timed. Like it had like there was a cutoff period. So when I looked at it the next day, it was it was already over. I was like, oh no.
pretty sweet. That's is it more, a little any like more approachable for if we were to do some marketing on X around it? Is it like going to be something that we could get people outside of the core community looking at, or is it still like many of our games kind of still focused on the core?
I would say probably it's still a little bit gotchi gang specific because you're gonna have to have a gotchi. Although
Yeah.
you could do the rental stuff, but I don't know. Maybe rental, if we can make that a bit more of a smooth process, because right now rental is still, you have to be familiar, very familiar.
Yeah, it's pretty daunting to just come in and know, like, there's a lot to learn for sure.
Well, I think because the whole like Alchemica simplification to gotchi process, that's gonna make rentals, the UX of it, a lot smoother also. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to think about as much. So we can, if we get rentals to be really smooth back and forth and they can just click a link and easily grab a gotchi, then I could see it becoming a thing. But as of now, the way that rentals are, you basically have to have a gotchi.
And there's just like there's probably not great gotchis out there unless someone's is someone doing that as their kind of their meta for this round. Maybe when we have the bigger tournaments, we might see that a little bit.
I mean, I'm renting this guy out, so like whoever feels like he got like him and the second gotchi, my second most powerful gotchi, are the only ones worth anything on my team pretty much, and they got me 3 rounds in alone pretty much.
Nice.
Drax, this one looks pretty powerful.
Yeah,
that
I'm scared of
skill.
him. I am scared of him. Like he asked to go to Battler, I said no, and then he said I'm going to go Battler, and I said okay. That's basically how it went.
Never attach AI to a gotchi that looks like that. Oh my goodness. Take over the world.
I've been going for that antenna bot for so long, guys. Like I pissed off the Bazaar channel. I kept going, I want to buy antenna bot. And everyone's like, yes, we know, we know.
Mhm.
Finally, I got one.
You're talking about the fangs.
What's the alpha behind that?
No one wants to sell them, dude. That's all it is. It's just it's a mythical pet. No one wants to sell it.
Yeah.
It's like the Sergey beard. It's like myth face
Is
item. It's
that
just
the
one of
beard
those
of
slots.
beard of pets?
It is
Yeah,
basically the Sergey beard of pets, yeah. Which is fun. Like the mythical raffle is not as popular. I think it's the stat thing also, right? Because there's not as many. Yeah, maybe we need new wearables. I don't know.
You know what? I'm not. Well, we have the wild fungi, but those are legendary, and then the baby licky is mythical. But the thing is, I'm not really seeing a lot of these new wearables out there in the wild yet, or like, when you scroll the marketplace, there's a lot of naked gotchis, but I'm curious. Haven't looked at the stats recently, but it'd be interesting to see, how many of each of these new Forge wearable 2 set have been minted.
Yeah, the data must be out there. I suspect if people through the forging process, you're gonna have more people like more attached to the wearable they forge, perhaps. Or of course, like you said earlier, it's a new meta, so somebody could just be forging all day and creating these and then selling them. So there is that route. I don't know. Oh, here we got a screenshot coming in from Wagme. This is getting me crushed by a felon who bought items and humbled me. Okay. Gotta get the items. Yeah, the UI is looking a lot cleaner. It's dramatically different on the visuals here. Nice.
Yeah, they are planning to. They've been already starting to integrate the latest wearables that we've added, and yeah, I think 3D the next season, it's going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
All the little animations that we've been working on and stuff will make it into the game, I'm sure. The like the spooky one where the gotchi gets really big is pretty fun to watch. And GOTCHIVERSE is also, you guys have been cooking up some, like a bunch of little dances that the gotchis will be able to do, right?
Yeah, yeah. Worked with Guardians. There's some overlap collaboration there on the animation departments. So there's a bunch of new animations coming, and they'll be able to tap into those too. So more celebrations for these groups of 5. They'll look. I hadn't realized that they'll look really good together in 3D.
Yeah.
Once that version comes out, visually, I think it'd be a feast. People outside of Gotcha Gang would be like, "What are these like 10 ghosts going onto a field together to battle? What's that about?" Like, not knowing anything about Aavegotchi, I could see that just being visually very interesting to look into. Maybe there's like a second mode down the road. I don't know what they're cooking over there. Probably already have a roadmap and plans, but it would be nice if there was a second version or a mode that was more pick up and play, and like non-gotchi owners could check it out.
Well, he's already gotten the auto battler part, and he's already gotten like the NPC gotchis that you can fight against. So part of the training, I think, is when you actually fight against like NPC gotchis. Like not they're like fake versions of gotchis, which is it's like an auto battler dungeon almost.
Yeah.
I know they do have plans to do kind of PvE, expand it beyond just these tournaments, and actually have a game that you can just pick up and play.
Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. I think you still need to. You can fight NPCs, but your 5 need to be gotchis you own or borrow.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
5 gotchis in your wallet. That's the friction, right? Like I gotta get 5 gotchis in a wallet before I can play. So it makes sense. Totally, that's what it's built to do. But I'm just saying, like, if there was a serious like, let's build it for people that are not owning Aavegotchi NFTs too, to get them in the water. You'd have to do something about that probably. But it looks sick. Very, very cool. Bummed I'm not in the tournament. It's a little.
I'm visualizing like the next phase of this be some kind of combo of a stream. So like people know that the battler things happen at this time and this time, and then you go and watch the things live, and like combine that with Idris, so people can bet on Twitter.
Yeah. I think the speculating is still the most interesting part. There's too many of us that have our yield. We're casual or hyper casual gamers at best, and we want to, quote unquote play a game, but maybe me just like logging in with my avatar to make bets and cheer on you guys and idle battlers, that would be enough for a certain player type, a certain type of gotchi owner. So
For sure.
sign me up.
Thrax, I know that Idris, I saw they were kind of doing a soft pivot, it sounded like. What exactly, when you say using Idris to bet, is that a new feature that they're launching? Or is that currently already working? Because I don't remember seeing that.
I believe so. The way it currently works is you can tip people on using their social handles essentially. So they can go, if they receive the tip, they can go to the Idris site and claim it by creating an account and doing all that stuff. So the idea, I mean, I don't know if it's an actual possibility with the current tech, but it's not a stretch. Once you've already got the tipping on social accounts, then all you have to do is have like 2 teams that are like labeled pots essentially, and then it splits based on the bets. So I'd have to talk to Idris, but the hard part of the tech, in my opinion, is the privy, like auto wallet creation and sending people tokens, right?
Right. Yeah.
So like now we've got that part out of the way. All we have to do is figure out how to like make an auto bet escrow type thing, and then we would have the perfect thing for people to bet on games online.
Light Piglet, you back a couple months ago, you shared that Limitless platform, and they're doing really well, I think. But they're mainly base. I actually have DM'd their guy a few times, be like, "Hey, would you like to launch on like do a? I don't know if they're doing like cross chain deployment. He hasn't answered me. I'm sure they're really busy. But I think it'd be cool, like big opportunity for the first platform that deploys on Geist and starts integrating things like Gotchi Guardian matches or Gotchi Battler tournaments in a kind of streamlined way, not doing them one by one manually, but actually like linking to the APIs and things. Because not something that we can really build, but we definitely recognize the desire for being able to gamble on or bet on the outcome of different matches in the ecosystem. It'd be really fun. Quick announcement. If you guys haven't checked the announcements channel yet this morning, you're just coming online. The team stealth shipped a little feature over the last couple days. Went live yesterday. We're calling it wallet pairing, which it's going to be a little bit confusing because there's also a wallet linking that we're working on with ThirdWeb. So I'm going to clarify kind of what these are. But the one that shipped yesterday, if you go to your player account and you're in the settings and you go to the Geist membership at the bottom, there's a section now called Pair Geist ID with additional wallet. Because a lot of people have their Geist ID in or it was claimed by a wallet where they had all their gotchis, which is for a lot of people, it's like a hardware wallet or like some sort of cold wallet. And that's not really the wallet you want to be doing a lot of games with. So they were gaming with another wallet, and now your Geist ID is in one wallet, but your spins are in the other. So with this pairing of the Geist ID now, you can choose one wallet. We're limiting it to one right now, and also you can only change your wallet every 90 days. Because if we didn't do that, then it's kind of undermining the whole point of the ID. So trying to find a convenient middle ground for people. But you can basically link one wallet, and it links it on chain. And this is the major distinction between this feature and what's going to be coming soon with ThirdWeb. That's an off-chain linking. And so things like the Gotchi wheel that actually require you to have a membership on chain, those would not work with the ThirdWeb linking. But things like when we go in the Gotchiverse, for example, or probably Gotchi Battler later, those will work with the ThirdWeb linking because you'll be able to. It'll just read the gotchis from all of your linked wallets, basically. But you don't actually need to show that you're a Geist member on chain. So this feature is if there's something that requires you to be a Geist member, and it's also an on-chain transaction that's looking on-chain and reverts if you're not a Geist member. So hopefully this will make people's lives a little easier. You can go in there. It's really easy. You just pick a wallet, pick whichever wallet has all your spins in it, or you're planning to continue, playing games with, and link it. And then when you go over to the Gotchi wheel, it'll recognize that you are basically a Geist member. So you still need to make sure that your membership is active. If it's already expired, then the delegation won't work. But at least you do have that option now. I think it's pretty cool. So I know there was like a few support tickets or people that were waiting for the wallet linking to be done, and just now this feature is basically going to solve that for folks. Yes, sir. Very clutch. And if you add a wallet and then you take it away, it doesn't reset the timer. It's still, if you look at the screenshot I put in there, that was actually showing that I had a wallet in there, then I removed it, and now it's going to tell you can pair your Geist ID to another wallet in 86 days. So it's 3 months. This is basically to prevent people from farming on a wallet and then farming on another wallet and then just farming multiple wallets, which is the whole point of Geist. So it really limits how often you can do that. So 90 days per linking, basically. So if you link the wrong one and you want to swap it, it's not going to be an easy process. You're going to have to wait. So that was one of, there's quite a few little small things that the team has been shipping on the DApp, a lot of like bug fixes and improvements, but that was one of the main things I wanted to point out. So everyone is aware.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's gonna be useful for a lot of people, and then there's still this third web connection as well. So like you're just getting more and more ways to build your identity on Geist.
Light People says only one. Yeah, you're only able to link one Geist ID. Now, if you want to, like, the whole point of this is that we're not going to have a bunch of multi-accounting on the chain. So that's how the feature has been, and the whole chain strategy has been designed. So you're not really incentivized to play a bunch of games with a bunch of different wallets. Like, try to consolidate a little bit. And again, if you're doing it, like if you have a wallet that has gotchis and you want to log in with social, now that we do have third web working with the ecosystem wallet, it's going to generate the same wallet address across every game and DApp. So the whole point is that you shouldn't have to have a bunch of wallets. You just, if you want to use social, you can use that social across any DApp that you want, and it's all going to be the same address. That feature did get shipped last week, the ecosystem wallet. Yeah, FIFU, the DApp team actually is shipping a ton of stuff. Not all of it's super obvious yet. A lot of it is bridge focused with the Gotchi bridging, and also things like the Realm Diamond, which is one topic I wanted to bring up and just see what opinions people have on this topic. As you guys know, our Solidity side has been working pretty hard to get the Gotchi migration going, and that's going quite well. Same with wearables, but we've kind of hit a little bit of a snag with the Realm Diamond and all the parcels, just because the grids that are on chain for these parcels are just so big, and there's so much data. It's a 64 by 64 on-chain grid. And so we're having like trouble bridging it through socket because there's like too much data that needs to go through. So we've come up with a couple solutions, but kind of ultimately, we kind of believe the easiest for everyone would just be if we essentially locked the parcel on Polygon and then minted, basically migrated for you when you lock it, and just essentially doing a one-way transfer of parcels from Polygon to Geist. Because there's not really going to be any use case on Polygon for the parcels. Everything new that we make is going to be on Geist anyway. So it's going to save a lot of dev bandwidth if we went that way, rather than coming up with like other more complicated ways of trying to like fit the very complex and verbose grid data through the socket bridge, or like having a bunch of admin functions and stuff when you go back and forth. So yeah, I just wanted to get a vibe check on what people would think if you couldn't bridge your parcel back to Polygon after you'd bridged it over to Geist. Is that like totally no, or you don't care? A lot of people are going to burn their parcels anyway, although we do have plans for them in the Gotchiverse. But yeah, what is any opinions on that?
Light Piglet's ready to light it up. As usual.
For many people, it'll probably just be a one-way.
So I
The
guess-
gotchis can go back and forth. We're definitely committed to that, and it's already working. The issue is with parcels, like with gotchis, you're just gonna take your wearables off and go back and bridge them over like that. But with parcels, you can't really take the installations off because a lot of them are unable to be transferred. Like they're locked in the parcel. Things like the altars are locked in, and also the other issue is that if we did actually bridge it over and like keep the parcel exactly as it is, when you actually upgrade your installations on the parcel, we're going to have an issue if we were able to bring those back because the accounting doesn't really line up because you're going over with a level 2 altar and you go over and you update it and now it's a level 3 altar and you try to go back and the bridge is like, wait, we don't recognize that you didn't have a level 3 altar going over.
You've changed.
Yeah, so we don't have that issue with wearables, but it's been something that we've had to talk. We've kind of tried every viable solution, and there's like a lot of issues. So we definitely want to have the parcels like bridged over as soon as possible for the Gotchi Points campaign. But it is possible, and, unless we'd love to hear some suggestions or opinions from people here in the chat that it might just be a one-way transfer.
What is the use case of a parcel on Polygon after we start bridging?
Pretty much like we're nothing.
Yeah,
There's really
I
not
haven't
going to
even
be
thought
a
about
use
it.
case.
but maybe
I
you guys
personally
feel
would
different.
not care then.
Yeah.
I think Aavegotchis
There
are
won't
one
be any
thing.
use
They need
case for
to-
gotchis either, but we just feel like, gotchis should be able to go back and visit their friends on Polygon. Parcels,
Well,
not
we're
so
using
much.
them as mules anyway, right? To
No,
move
you're
wearables.
you're not gonna have to. No,
Oh.
there you won't have to. We ended up solving that by just you're gonna bridge your gotchis over naked, and then you'll bridge your wearables over separately. So we don't
Okay.
have that issue actually. What happens if I bridge my parcel, burn all installations, it gets me out, then bridge back to Polygon, then I can burn the same installations a second time. So how it should work if we didn't have this data issue is basically it would recognize that the parcel has changed and it would update the grid on your parcel on Polygon. But because there's just too much data to go through, we can't do that atomically. We can't send that much data through. This was not really something that we had anticipated when we started the bridging process for the parcels. There's just the data is too big. It's like a 64 pi 64 on-chain grid, and no, so we can't atomically do that. It would require like more admin functions and a bunch of other infrastructure set up that frankly I don't know if that's really the juice is worth the squeeze of our kind of limited dev time if there's really no use case for parcels on Polygon anymore anyway. Got it. So sounds like Chonya, Light Piglet, Fifu are pretty okay with it. Good to know. The good news is that makes it a lot easier, and we should be able to do that fairly soon. We're actually getting Open Zeppelin Defender set up on Geist pretty soon here, and that'll be probably one of the first use cases for it. Is when you lock it on Polygon, we'll essentially just mint it for you directly on Geist, exactly as it is on Polygon, and then it'll essentially be locked there. Even better if PC handles it all at once for everyone. We could do that as well. We could literally just do a full migration script for everyone, The only thing there is that we would have to disable farming on Polygon, which probably will happen anyway, or like once the migration is complete, all the new farming will be on Geist anyway. So yeah, we could just do a full migration literally for everyone. We just have to freeze the state of the chain on Polygon for a little bit while we're doing that migration. But it's definitely one way we could do it. You would just wake up one day and hey, everything's on Geist. Sweet. So George says, once I bridge my parcels, I'll still be farming Gotchi. No, you won't be farming Gotchi directly. You'll still be farming Alchemica, but you'll be able to convert that Gotchi into Gotchi points. Crypto Green, what are you thinking there? You said not sure yet. I have like 40 parcels. Yeah, I have quite a few as well. I have probably 60 or so that I'm keen to get those moved over. Stop spending gas on Polygon. Liking that we do all that. Yeah, we could totally do that. And then you would still have the parcel on Polygon and all the installations and stuff. It would be like we kind of copied it. We doubled everything. But we would essentially freeze it. So you wouldn't be able to remove them or like sell your stuff in the bazaar on Polygon, because then we'd essentially double the supply of everything. That wouldn't be good. Cross-chain NFTs are not fun. I mean, it's like, it's no wonder that it's never really taken off. Cross-chain tokens, easy. Cross-chain NFTs are a different can of fish for sure. But yeah, we want to make this as simple and clean as possible for people, so we can get this done and have a good start to the new year.
Yeah, seriously. We almost had a good start to the weekend yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah.
Gotcha gang. Have you guys talked about Reckless at all?
Not a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's
just
just finish.
let
Let me real quick just finish.
migration looks, yeah.
Yeah. Just
Seems
want to
like a
answer
lot
any
of
other
support here.
questions. Let's see. Grim says tiles not on the parcels. Suppose best to install on all my parcels before moved. So you will be able to, like, if you had loose tiles or loose fountains, grand fountains that you wanted to bridge over, you'll still be able to bridge those as well. We're just gonna well, there's a couple ways we could do it, but what we are planning to do is let you bridge your stuff that you have that's not linked on a parcel already, but the parcel itself would be locked, so you couldn't unequip stuff from it, and you couldn't mine more Alchemica from it if we just carbon copied it. But all your loose parcel like accessories, your tiles and installations, you could still bridge those over, or we could literally just copy everything and not have a bridge for those items, and they would just, you'd have parallel universes of the stuff on Polygon and the stuff on Geist, and they just wouldn't be able to talk to each other.
So forget the Gotchiverse. We're going multiverse.
Yeah, cross-chain NFT collections are it's fun for sure. What do you guys think? Would people prefer? There's really no reason except unless bazaar trading continues on Polygon for a while, and you want to keep trading on Polygon. You say, I got a grand fountain, I want to sell it on Polygon. Maybe there's still people buying stuff there. We're not going to totally shut the bazaar down. It'll keep going. But it would just be like Polygon only. For access to less thinking, I have to do the better.
would just feel bad about. There'd have to be some notices, right? Like buy this fountain, and people are aping into it, and they're like expecting to use it in the Gotchiverse or something on Geist.
Right. Yeah. There was this issue earlier on with the vouchers. People were still buying those vouchers on OpenSea after they had been converted back. This was in like back 2020, which is not fun.
Yeah, I would imagine would just deprecate the front end support for the Polygon versions, if even if they technically exist on chain
Right.
parallel universe.
Yeah. I mean, we want this migration to be opt-in for everyone. Like one of my principles is that we don't want to dramatically disrupt anything on Polygon. Treat it more as an opt-in migration. Like you don't have, if you want to stay on Polygon, you can stay on Polygon. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant to do like a one button migration of everything and then not let them talk to each other. Because then people might, like you said, they might feel like, well, if I can buy it on Polygon, that means I can use it in the Gotchiverse.
Yeah, it's balancing that principle totally makes sense, and it's also like as long as it doesn't expose casual people to misunderstandings. So, because there's really no value to a fountain on Polygon, if Gotchiverse and no other game supports it or is being built around it on Polygon.
Yeah.
I think Wagner's right about there's just not a lot of room for. There's nothing really happening on Polygon that pertains to us. Like we're not gonna
Yeah.
see more on-chain activity over there. Oh, but the second half of his message, I'm not sure.
I mean, we can rehashing the same conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I think we made our decision as project founders. We didn't want to move the entire ecosystem to another public chain where we're just going to pay rent again. I think still owning our own block space is going to be a net positive long run. And we can literally, I mean, this is a good segue into Reckless.
Yeah.
Jesse, if you want to talk about like the Reckless, this like initial launch strategy, I think it pertains to base.
Yeah, it's actually one of the reasons we're very sensitive about the launch time. So here, just a visual aid if anybody hasn't seen what Reckless is. I think everybody here probably has at this point. Let's look at this guy. Notice it's very base heavy on this release, and it's not just because we like base, we love base, but the idea is the Aavegotchi IP is not just going to be hiding on Geist forever. Like that's where our council is. That's where the premier experience is with the badge system and everything. And yet, here we are releasing Reckless on base, like the fastest growing L2 in crypto, and with base's support no less. So they're excited to see this. They know that Jesse Polak is inside a Gotchi boss. They think that's cool. So we want to keep growing those relationships with Alchemy, Base, those types of partners, basically post Polygon partnerships and what we've stitched together as a community. And so, yeah, we want to keep doing that. And the idea is, you put Aavegotchi in with a highly accessible pick up and play game with a prize tournament on the weekend right before Gotchiverse launch. You're going to get a ton of new eyeballs, a lot of people to play this game and get exposed to Aavegotchi. And whether it goes bonkers or just does reasonably well or whatever, it's still new eyes for sure. And so that's part of the outreach. Those people play that game, and then they're earning spins, and they're earning Ghost. The Ghost lives on base, of course. That's good. But the spins, they're going to have to come over to Geist and make an account if they want any chance of using those spins. So I think that's a really cool flow, and it's an example of how just because we have our system running with this cool EVM backend that is, I think of it as like Ethereum compatible with Base and everybody else, we're not alone. Like that's just our backend running over there. It's compatible with everybody else in the ecosystem. we can still do cool collaborations and get loud on bass or anywhere else we really want to. So Reckless is an
Yeah.
example of that.
And it's pretty low friction. I mean, if you have, it's easy to get Ghost on base. It's also easy to get Ghost over from base to Geist. There's one bridge away. Takes only a few minutes. There's also we're always working on improving the bridging options. We just got Bungie to support Ghost, Bungie V2. They're now supporting Ghost from Polygon to base, and I was just looking at the different options the other day, and it's like significantly cheaper than using Jumper for amounts under $1,000. So we're just going to keep making it easy and easier for people to get onto Geist. At the same time, yeah, Reckless was the point of this first release of Reckless is to actually do some cool stuff on base, and we have the base marketing team, like they're ready to promote it once it's live. Unfortunately, we had to take a little delay because of some leaderboard issues, but yeah, they're ready to like help promote it. They love when we do cool stuff on base, and it's like a good way for the base community to learn more about this L3 called Geist that is settling to base. So I think we've hitched our cart to the right horse. We just got to make sure that our community is interacting with the base community, and that we have stuff that excites them, and then also it's like can act as a nice funnel over to Geist.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep that relationship with base. Keep working that building products that make sense. That would, we know the kind of identity of the typical base user better than most. I would say because they've done their homework and they've done such a good job, and they have the Coinbase users as well. There's like a better user profile on base than on maybe other chains, and we're able to identify them and then talk to them and build products that are more likely to reach casual crypto interested players, people that are used to playing normal games. I think Reckless is a perfect way to give an olive branch to that type of player. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm really really excited with the Reckless first release, and that one's super base themed, and we're gonna put it in front of the base audience. But I think you guys know there's like a lot more behind it that we can release later on Geist. So those Reckless fans will be like, oh shoot, I want to play more. All I gotta do is a little social login or connect a wallet, and I'm up and going. I don't care if it's Geist or whatever you call it. It's right there. Just go to the website. Light Piglet, the only one to get to level 3. It takes practice. I think I've gotten to 3 on one of the older versions, but the team did a lot of adjustments, to the way it plays out. So finding that balance.
Yeah, I love the music. I love the pacing of the game. I'm really enjoying it. I play it once in a while, and I'm like feeling like playing a game. It's like first go directly to Reckless, play a few rounds on it.
Yeah. So the new plan is we'll all be able to play with the big tournament put in front of base middle of next week, shooting for Wednesday as the proper launch. I shook the tree, got some attention, eyebrows up, and then yeah, I just didn't want to launch with a less than perfect experience. There was a little leaderboard thing. There's also there's actually a mint that goes with this, which is really cool. There's got to be an on-chain aspect on base, right? Everything base does has an on-chain aspect. So there, we want to have that perfect, and it wasn't quite perfect after all. And that mint will be really, really cool for everybody. Simple, but yeah, but also very nice. So it ties into your gameplay, and you can mint basically your high scores and get some artwork designed by Zbot and the not just Zbot but the whole team. I guess Zbot is, as director of the game, he's aesthetically got his fingerprints all over it. So it's gonna be really really cool.
I mean, the game is fucking beautiful, and the way that the fact that we finally have 1-to-1 pixel perfect Aavegotchis that can be used in these kind of side scroller games and stuff is I think it's a pretty big unlock. It's just another tool for devs to use. if they want to create like a 2D pixel game. That was one of the first things that got me excited about this whole project. Was that we'd finally have like, we wouldn't have to redo the hands or like do strange animations for like what Dropped has had to do. I think the Dropped can probably use these if they want pretty closely out of the box.
Yeah, that's a huge
That'll
upgrade.
be a thing that we get shipped pretty early next year, and having that available for everyone to use, open source, and see what you guys do with it.
Heck yeah, I think there's a ton of cool stuff could be built with these, and the animations are so nice. Tons of sprite packs, not just the gotchis themselves, but every single wearable, and all these cool enemies that are introduced in the game too. So hopefully you guys have seen the doggy, right? I think it's like one of our strongest new additions to the IP in a minute. Where's that doggy at? Wrecked himself. Look at this. We'll be using a lot of these GIFs in the promotions next week. So you guys download them, use them, and on Wednesday we get loud. You can send all these out. Isn't that one cute? I think his name's Wrecked, aka Reckless, but I don't know. It might be Doggo. I also see the label is Doggo. I don't know if that's placeholder. Could have swore this was Wrecked. Wrecked Doggo. There we go. Confirmed.
I've heard that Guardians is also thinking of adding a version of the dog as a liquidator as well.
Yeah, they got it right away. They're like, that's a strong character design right there. So we'll see Wrecked Doggo in 3D here soon.
Yeah.
China. That poor doggy. Going back to that question about the parcels, and just confirming, yeah, you'll still farm Alchemica as long as, doesn't matter. It's less about which chain, it's about when does Gotchi the TGE happen. So pre TGE, even post TGE, we're not going to change the contents of what's under the ground of your parcel, right? It's just how that Alchemica gets converted into Gotchi points. You'll still have to farm the Alchemica, and then maybe you can carry it over in a bucket to somewhere in the Gotchiverse and turn it into Gotchi points. One more step. But check this out. The team's been working. The release work is being done. We've got our stable build for this time next Saturday. We'll all be here in the Gotchiverse this time next week, so don't miss next week's Hangout. We will be doing kind of the launch party, end of the year celebration, all of that. Now this part won't be live next Saturday. This is the stuff this is the farming build that we're working on for early next year. And check this out. It's just nice to see it in action. So this was how we started the week this week. I think this came through on Monday. And
It's raining.
love to see
Forecast.
it. It's going to be gorgeous. And that's obviously a very simple, straight down rain, but spillover is being worked on, reservoir emptying, all that good stuff. It's literally the GIF that Thrax just posted, the little emoji. Pretty much what's happening there. Yeah. That's really all I want. I want to just like playing with snow. I just want to chuck Alchemica at people and get Alchemica fireworks and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So updates on that side is like basically just trying to get the build super tested, super stable, so we can invite everybody we know to come have a party with us. Reckless tournament will be just winding down or just at its peak, and then we can invite everybody into the Gotchiverse at the same time. So it's like one game on one chain creates awareness and momentum for another game, and then it's up to us to be welcoming and get them onboarded into the Discord and everything.
Yeah.
Running around the bazaar.
Shaping up to be a nice end of the year. Still a couple things we haven't gotten shipped this year, but I mean, we're we're basically where we wanted to be in terms of like getting the migration, getting the chain up. Uh, Pretty happy with how things have gone. Obviously, could have been better, but I'm just really excited that we finally have this chain up, and really next year is the should be the golden age of Aavegotchi. With on our new chain, a lot of these games are going. Marketing can start. Should be good. The future's got. I think you get 150K per 200 spins is about what it averages out to. So keep spinning, sir. Although I did get my first 50K within like the first 10 spins, but it's not because I'm a dev. So login, the Alchemica farming will last, I mean, at least 18 months because that's when the campaign, that's how long the Gotchi Points campaign will last. I think it's a like fairly long period. If you want to do a build on a spacious, 18 months like should be enough to cover that. So that's kind of why we aimed with that timeline. If it gets to a point where there's still a ton of Alchemica left and people are still actively farming at the end of the Gotchi Points campaign, we nothing to say we can't continue with a seventh season, but those would be tokens that are not part of the initial allocation, and those would probably have to come from other sources. But yeah, it's possible, but we're kind of hoping that we can just wrap the farming part up within the next 18 months.
Like Piglet, bring in the spins. No Future, have you spent? What's your best spin so far? Do you get a 50K yet?
No 50Ks. I got one or two 1500s, and then a bunch of 50s and a lot of zeros. So I'm not gonna lie. I've been trying to time it. Like I'm like sitting there with my MetaMask open and watching the wheel go. It starts to speed up, then I hit it, and then I was just getting wrecked.
I don't
But
think that it doesn't really work like that. It's on
figured, yeah.
chain, so.
Yeah, I figured. What I will say though is I'm happy that you did that delegation stuff because my ledger would have exploded. I like if I had to
Yeah.
click
Oh, for sure.
100 times.
Also, like this is the first version of the wheel. If you guys have any suggestions on how we could make it more fun, or if there's people that are like, I'm not that excited about it, like we can make changes to it. We can add more stuff, more things, within reason. So always open to suggestions about how we could improve the wheel.
Give us a spin badge. Like put a badge on the wheel for spinning the wheel, but make it super rare, like 50K points, like rare.
Right.
Pro spinner. Yeah. That's kind of cool. It's so Inception. Badges to get spins to get a badge. Oh, Schnitzel Death, living the good life.
Oh, there we go.
GM indeed.
Yeah, Phase. I was thinking about a jackpot. Jackpot could be interesting for sure. Do
Yeah,
like a good jackpot.
it's a great call out. Just the vibe of it, right? Not necessarily the mechanics of it.
Right. Mm, got it.
Also, maybe a mega spin where like, the prizes go up, but like I can throw 10 spins at once. So like maybe there's a chance I
Yeah.
win 500 gotchi points, 500,000 gotchi points instead of 50,000. But the zero is still, zero.
Man, you guys are gonna
Yeah.
DJ a lot of this.
The kind of the 10 spins, 10x spins is something that has been requested quite a few times. So just for those that people have like 500 spins. Although I personally I prefer just doing them one at a time. It's kind of relaxing. But yeah, we can think about adding like bulk spins.
Okay, just a simple spin all, or if we are putting more effort into like making the spin itself an experience, then I'd say maybe a bulk spin somewhere in the middle. Like you could do something cool if you decide to burn a 50 pack or something. You get a different wheel or some other available prizes get unlocked.
Also, maybe a burn alchemica for spins. Like if you want, you can get the points directly if you burn the alchemica. But if
Yeah.
you want a degen, you burn some of the alchemica for
Then
spins.
at that point, like we're skirting certain rules. It's not something you can buy. I think we wanted to make sure that you have you're earning these spends. You're not purchasing them by spending any sort of currency. Now, what like Piglet says, like burning spins that you earn by playing a game to get a chance of a jackpot, that could probably work. But I don't think we're gonna venture into pay certain currency to get number of spins kind of territory.
That's all right. No future. You're always pushing the envelope on the degeneracy. It would be fun. I like to sleep.
Golden
at
Cross,
night.
we should have a nice fountain somewhere in the Gotchiverse where you can sit there and spin the wheel because it's kind of a relaxing experience. Next to like a nice twinkling fountain, and you get your your wheel. You can totally zen out.
Totally.
Get your dopamine hit.
Honestly, that's where I think the parcels and even D1, you can build areas where you just do certain like activities that currently happen on the DApp. Or even
Yeah.
we were talking the other day about like it's nice that Reckless is this browser-based game. There's some homework to do there, but it's within reason if we wanted to prioritize that alongside all the other stuff we need to build in the Gotchiverse. You could do the kind of, like Hardcore talked about, like let's get some arcades in the verse, again, very Inception-y, and then maybe there'd be a reason to watch somebody play or you play from within the Gotchi. You know what I mean? Like game within a game kind of thing. Could totally do that. Love to do more of that. I feel like this year we're, when we come in and party together next year or next week, just think about what you experience in terms of like we've been able to build like the base layer of the Gotchiverse here. It's very modular, and then you can from this world as you walk around it, you'll imagine like this could be built further devved out to become a real proper mini game, or this could be a way we enjoy spins within the Gotchiverse. All that stuff is possible because it's very very standardized and modular the way it's built, that we can just spin off to other rooms that do other things all the time. So yeah, I'm gonna spin the wheel in the Gotchiverse.
All right. Thanks, friends, for the hangout. Let's jump into the DAO call.
Hey
Get those
guys.
spins going. Good luck.